This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Blow it. All right, let's start the show. 25 Whistles, presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with the code BobbySports, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void or prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details. Coming up, Ryan Blaney, champ.
NASCAR
Cup.
Awesome badass.
Yeah, so we talked to him about being a dad, racing at simulators, a whole bunch more. Just a personal note, I thought maybe I was getting a little better at being not so colorblind. Because sometimes I wonder, like, am I getting better? And Reed says to me, oh, going all black today. And I go, no, this is green, bro.
And then we all said, no, man,
it's
it's black.
And I honestly was a little sad because I try not to declare my color blindness as much, but I really thought this was green.
And honestly, I forget you're colorblind until stuff like this happens.
But when this happened, is it kind of green though?
No, man.
Oh
it's-
my God.
It's black,
It's
dude.
like, if anything, gray.
That sucks.
Straight black.
That sucks. Anyway, all right. Well,
Looks cool, though.
hey, the people hurting today, me and FSU fans.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
As a non-FSU fan, do you think the CFP committee got it right with the Final Four?
So, what's right though? Because is right the best games? Is right who deserve to get in? I don't know what right means. And I looked at the kind of the rules, and it's kind of like Entertainer of the Year in country music, where there really isn't like a pure definition of who they're supposed to pick.
Put in the first, the
best four team, best, right?
which is so hard to define.
Right, because you can define them by many. I'm surprised that Florida State didn't get in because they were undefeated in a Power 5 school. Now, they're a 14-point underdog to Georgia in their bowl game. They were going to get run by Michigan.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, great, but Vegas that feels pretty confident.
And sometimes Vegas gets it wrong.
Very rarely do they get it that wrong. My point is this. I think Florida should have got in, but I'm glad they didn't.
Yes.
How about that?
I don't know. I don't understand.
I think they should have got in. They did win their conference, although they did not look good versus Louisville. I'm telling you, watching the game, I started to change my thought on it. Where I was on this show, I was like, you got to put Florida in. That game was not good. They were not moving the ball. I was like, oh God, if they're in, like they should probably get in, but I hope they don't get in.
Okay, but last week you thought that Louisville would beat Florida State. Both of you guys.
Yeah, but again, the game was close enough to where I thought, yeah, Louisville's not that much worse than Florida State.
Louisville played even worse, which is crazy.
Yeah, but hey, bub, it wasn't good. Did you watch it?
I did watch. Yeah, I watched Florida State.
And Florida State's last two games were Florida, who sucks. They beat them. And Louisville, it's not their fault. Their quarterback got hurt.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't make it, but they should have made it. I'd be upset if I were a Florida State fan for sure.
My take is that you have to give them a chance. They overcame adversity. They lost their starting quarterback. They still won games. You bring Alabama in, who
Did you like
point
TCU last year getting crushed 60-2?
Yeah.
That's what was going to happen again.
Yeah.
But we don't know that. Cinderella stories are made by giving the underdog
But we
a
just
chance.
had an example last year. So we do have an example of what happens when you do this type of thing. And we do have an example. We're not just going blind and, hey, okay, let's just see what happens. And teams are built around the quarterback.
So we're going on entertainment value. So do we want to see a good game? Then that's who we put in.
Alabama, yeah.
Because if there's a blowout,
Florida State should have got in, but I'm glad they didn't.
Unless you're an FSU fan, you're happy.
Yeah.
Like deep down, you're happy.
Just
it's
for
wrong.
entertainment, because they were going to get run by Michigan.
Yeah.
it was frustrating to me. Like justice for Florida State, justice for Liberty. Another undefeated team that had no chance.
Liberty's on a Power 5.
Okay.
Still, man, you have a great season.
You just blew any credibility you had by doing that. Because some people were like, "Yeah, I'm on it." Oh no.
Seriously though, look, you look at Alabama, and at one point in their season, they benched their starting quarterback. But what did they do? They made adjustments. They changed. They ended up being a better football
with
team.
that same quarterback.
with that same quarterback. But still, you got to give this team who deserves to be in that position.
I agree they deserve to be there. I'm not arguing with you on that.
You got to give them that chance. And when I saw the results come down, I'm like, really? I really thought, I was hoping that Alabama and Georgia would just cancel each other. And let's go. Changing to the guards right here. Cancel those two out because they both beat each other. If you want to put Texas in, I mean, got to put Texas in, right? They
if
beat
you were
Alabama.
just putting the best 4 in, you would have put in Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, and Washington.
Right? So so I thought the rule was best 4.
But you can't put Alabama in if you're not going to put Texas in because Texas beat Alabama.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Somebody was going to get pissed either way.
Yep.
And then even Georgia fans, I mean, imagine all year, we're for sure making it. And the final game.
One loss.
The final game.
One loss, and look at this. Who else has got one loss? Texas does. Alabama does.
Florida State didn't lose a game.
I know. But they did lose a quarterback.
Limping, they won games.
It does say in the rule book that they can take that into account. Like if you're missing a player
It does.
or a coach.
They absolutely
they
can
can
do
put that into account when they're doing the final season.
Frustrating.
I think Florida State should have got in, but I'm glad they didn't because that first round game. Did you see Michigan when they found out they had to play Alabama?
Ugh.
They were like, oh, great.
They ain't happy.
They had the camera in there. They thought it was about to be Florida State. And they were like, playing number 1 Michigan will be number 4. And they were ready for that Florida State. And they said Alabama. And they were like, oh.
I'm rooting for Michigan.
Here's the thing. Michigan just got so lucky because we're not even talking about them cheating because of this.
That's done. That's done. The suspension was served. Hey, it's like, you know what? You served your time. We're done. We move on.
I hope Alabama rolls them.
What about was it the Missouri coach when he was getting interviewed?
We stand on.
Because they're playing Ohio State, I think, in a bowl game.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, he's getting interviewed on ESPN. He's like, hold on, I'm getting a call from Connor Stallions. He wants my place or something.
That's funny. Drake said that?
Yeah.
That's funny. If I were ranking them, I would have ranked them as such. Michigan 1, Georgia 2, Alabama 3, Washington 4.
So you would put Michigan at 1 even though...
They're undefeated.
But that's the only reason.
But everybody else would have had a loss.
See, that's what frustrates me about it.
Yeah, but they also have their,
'cause people
but they
are
also have their full
automatically-
team. They also have their full team. They won every game. They're star players who make every decision, who touch the ball every time. Florida State should have got in, but I'm glad they didn't. Because it's also in the rules, in the bylaws, that if there's a player change or coach change, they have to put that into consideration. Same thing with the NCAA tournament. If your star player is out, it affects your seeding.
I hope that freshman comes back the next couple of years and just plays lights out, wins the Heisman
Well, it's also
2
their
years in a row.
third string quarterback.
Yeah.
That's true. Because I think the backup had a concussion.
Yeah.
They were really
So
limping.
regardless, sucks if you're a Florida State fan, but also your main guy got hurt. You have to understand a little bit.
Yeah, like, would you really, really want to go in there and get boat raced?
No.
Right?
You want what happened to TCU to happen to you, or do you want to just be able to complain that you didn't get in?
Exactly.
Because you're not going to win the national championship.
Exactly.
So now it looks better just to complain about it?
If we win a bowl game versus Georgia and I'm an FSU fan, I'm declaring national championship.
Yep.
Interesting.
So it's fun. I like, but
Where's Texas at here? Are they the worst?
Yeah. Texas and Washington about the same. I watched.
Were you guys shocked? Washington, Oregon?
No. Here's the thing about Washington. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get to that for sure.
Okay.
Washington's coaching staff is the greatest. That dude won at Division II.
Oh, yeah.
He won it. I mean, I was looking at his record. It's insane how much he wins. I forget his name. It's like
The Burr.
the lower brother. Yeah.
The Burr.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he's beat Oregon 3 times in a row. Yeah. It's crazy. So there you go. Florida State got screwed. I'm on that side,
I'm pissed for them.
but I'm glad that they got screwed because I'm on my side, and I bet I have a future in Alabama. Don't forget.
Oh,
This is where it all, this is the root of it.
We've
I
come
got
full
it.
circle.
Got it.
But I still say Florida State got screwed. I didn't say they didn't get screwed.
Right.
But
hey, roll tide.
But
roll
why
tide.
I'm happy,
Tide.
is I bet a future in Alabama when nobody thought they'd even get there.
Good job,
Thank
Bones.
you.
There we go.
Thank you. If you look at the strength of the schedule, Alabama is 4th overall, and Florida State was 55th.
Sure.
And the only loss that Alabama had was to Texas, who's in the top 4.
Alabama looked like a weak team earlier in the season. Early in the season, they were a weak team where everyone was worried about Alabama.
They lost one game all year.
I know, but
The top 14.
They had 4 or 5 close ones.
And I saw where they said FSU versus the SEC, like 3-0. And someone was like, yeah, Alabama versus the SEC, 9-0. That's their
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah. Guess I just kind of wanted to see different guys up there.
I
You
did too.
didn't.
I would have liked to have seen it if they'd had a quarterback. But like we talked about in the NFL, you don't want them to be able to run and kill quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they're gone, games suck.
We're seeing that in the NFL right now.
Yes, the too many hurt quarterbacks. All right, that's question one. All right, go ahead.
Okay, second one. Now that it's set with the Final Four, which game are you most excited for?
Michigan, Alabama, because
That's the one.
it's two marquee programs, like blue blood. Like, if anybody's going to shut Harbaugh up, it's Saban. And I got a future on him. Let's go. The Washington-Texas game will also be fun. That one feels like it's going to be a little more scoring, a little more wide open. The Michigan-Alabama game is going to be big dudes hitting each other hard.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. I usually don't care about other teams. Screw everybody except me in Arkansas. But this is fun. This is a fun Final Four. And nobody can repeat. And if I'm a Georgia fan, I'm butthurt too because you were in the whole time until you weren't. Even with the loss in the SEC championship, you were in until you weren't. It's wild. But I'm going to go Michigan, Alabama. Anybody else feel different?
No.
No, I'm going to I'll be home in California that game. During that time, I'm going to try to go to that game. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah. All right, what else?
Going to the NFL, which NFC win impressed you more this weekend? 49ers blowing out the Eagles or the Cowboys comeback shootout against Seahawks?
Well, I'm just going to go with the 49ers over the Eagles.
That was the
because
big
That was
one.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're like, wow, look at the Niners. They're a 3-point favorite. We can't believe that. And they're in Philly. And then they ran them.
I know when you see a
They
line
ran
like
them.
that.
Hey, they ran them like it was an FSU team without a quarterback. You know what I mean?
It took them a few possessions. I mean, the first.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles did score.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first three drives that the 49ers had, McCaffrey couldn't move. They couldn't move the ball at all.
49ers are so good when they're fully loaded. God. It's just who you going to stop.
I mean, Debo looked unreal.
Yeah.
Did you think Jalen Hurts was playing weird? Just weird, making weird decisions. There was one play
he
where
hurt?
I don't think he's hurt, but there was this one play where he held the ball for at least 30 seconds.
He does that.
And then he just fell.
He slipped.
Did he?
Yeah, he slipped.
Oof, I don't know, man. Looked odd to me.
What do you want to say about the Cowboys game, Eddie?
That was great. It was awesome. But I mean, again, Seattle's not that contender. Like, I think they're a
But
good
they're
team.
at least pretty good.
They are a pretty
I do
good
think
team.
that's a pretty good win.
Yeah, and they got the Cowboys easily could have lost that game, but they came back. Honestly, I was kind of impressed. I thought
Dak
they were
got
going to lose.
300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
We talking MVP talk now?
No, but I think he possibly can rise up to the bottom part of that, and could actually climb into the conversation if he keeps playing like this.
Jordan. Aaron Rodgers says he's one of his favorite quarterbacks right now.
Okay, so
Yeah, from one
Does he
great,
have an MVP
from
vote?
one great quarterback to another.
Aaron Rodgers is great now in your opinion.
Brock Purdy is a favorite right now.
Can't believe I just said
Is
that.
he?
Yeah,
He's a betting favorite.
after this weekend, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? Dak said something in a press conference that I really loved. He's like, I don't care what people are saying about me now. These are the same people that said I was bad 2 years ago. It is what it is. None of that gets to him. He proves himself to no one but himself.
But they played the 49ers, and again, it's an ugly game. And then the Eagles play the 49ers, and that was an ugly game.
Yeah.
Or is a fully loaded 49ers team just way better than anybody else in the NFC?
In the NFL.
I think in the NFL too.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, that's the
so
best.
good.
Their defense, everything.
I guess I'm just thinking about getting into the Super Bowl more so than I'm thinking of the bracket and on that
Yeah.
side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Because it's probably going to be. But see, the Niners lost game. I mean, next week it's the Cowboys and the Eagles.
yeah.
And are they playing for the number 1 seed?
At that point, they'd be tied for the number 1 seed
So that's my point.
if the Cowboys win.
The Niners lost games when they weren't fully loaded. So there could still be a bye if the Cowboys were to be the number 1 seed. And then you just pray to God something happens to the 49ers and they lose one of those games before you get there.
So do you play your guts out against the Eagles now? Just kind of go
Who?
the Cowboys.
Of course.
Now?
Why would you not play your guts out every game?
Knowing that if you will see them again in the postseason.
Oh, no. You don't know for sure. If
Yeah,
you're
you don't
going
know
to.
that. Why are you going to base what might happen on? No, you go hard when you can. You take what you can control and you control it.
He's already making excuses. That's what he's saying.
Hey, I'm just posing the
That's
question,
what he's
guys.
saying.
Posing the question.
That's a terrible question. All right, next up.
Last one, after a big win to stop the Broncos' winning streak, are the Texans the best story of the NFL this season?
Best story is interesting.
Did they lose?
The
Broncos?
They beat the Broncos.
They beat the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos had a win streak. Like they won
5.
5 in a row. They're
Well, that was
7.
a close game, right? Yeah.
They're 7-5. The Texans are. CJ Stroud. What I thought was a funny stat is CJ Stroud. Not that he's second in passing yards. That is good for him. He's killing it. But that Sam Howell's first.
I know.
Dude's awesome.
I don't know about awesome.
I mean, I love how he plays. Just scrappy
I love
play.
how he plays too. He just doesn't have a lot around him.
Sure.
And now they don't have any defense either because they got rid of their. They got rid of.
They've given up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's his first year as head coach, DeMeco Ryan.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting story. Let me think if there would be a different story that I think would be even better than that. So the Panthers story is pretty interesting. They fired their first year head coach, is respected by everybody, and their very first overall first round pick is getting torched, even though he has no weapons whatsoever. That's a negative story. I feel bad for Bryce Young. I feel bad for Frank Reich. I feel like that's been handled terribly. Mm-hmm. It's just been handled terribly. And I still feel like Kyler Murray looks smaller than Bryce Young. Kyler Murray looks like a child with pads on.
Is he shorter, Kyler Murray?
I have no idea.
He
Maybe
looks
their
shorter.
jersey colors affect that too, but it's like a tiny man running around out there. But the Texans stories, like as far as positive goes, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably the story.
They're the same height, by the way.
They are.
5'10".
The Colts are surprisingly doing well too.
Yeah, nobody
Minshew.
cares.
I know.
Yeah, that game yesterday sucked
Yeah.
for me.
Yes.
So we're going to go Texans, Aaron Rodgers, and the Panthers are kind of the TMZ stories of the NFL year so far, right? Because nothing else
We're
has
missing out
been.
on.
It's been kind of a lot
I mean,
of
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift probably is number one.
injuries.
Oh,
If you're
that's
picking the main-
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Vikings
What about them?
getting Dobbs
That was fun for 2 weeks.
mid-season.
That was a fun little,
Okay.
spin-off, spin-off episode.
This is our news meeting.
Yeah.
Before the day starts, you
Yeah.
start bringing in the stories.
But I'll go with, I respect it. And they get in the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Good for them. When he drops back, Stroud does, I expect him to make a completion,
Yeah.
which half the quarterbacks play now, I don't, because there's so many injuries, everybody sucks. All right,
He did lose his receiver though. You see that, Tank Dell?
Yeah.
Broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Oh, he
or
broke
his
it?
leg or something. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was
done.
out.
So that hurts.
That sucks. Okay, that's tittle tattle.
The stupidest name ever is the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
25 Whistles, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. And our parlay, we lost. Reed,
I'm sorry.
he only lost one.
UNLV.
Yeah.
That was the big one. I was just throwing it out there. So
Yeah, Alabama plus 5.5 versus Georgia. That was a win. And Florida State minus 2.5 money line versus Louisville. So just money line.
Boom.
That one. UNLV money line versus Boise State. We lost that. So we lost again. Guys, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
I put like $5 on it. No, I didn't even bet it at all. Only bet 3 bets this whole weekend.
wow.
That's it?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Okay.
If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out. Why would you take it?
No, just do it. Come on.
But you can be on it when we all rise again.
Yes. Yes.
If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. I'll give you an update in a few minutes on my gambling over the weekend. We'll get to our promises. We'll get to NFL. But first, we're going to get to the interview with NASCAR Cup driver Ryan Blaney. Ryan drives the number 12 Ford Mustang Dark Horse for Team Penske and is this year's NASCAR Cup Series champion, which is pretty cool. This is the whole interview that we did here. We cut a small part of it out to play on the Bobby Bones show, but this is the whole thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know a lot about NASCAR, but I felt like I asked okay questions and I had somebody here to kind of keep me in line.
Yeah. I think the questions you ask are the questions that people have about NASCAR.
You can keep up with Ryan and his career on Twitter at Blaney. Here he is, Ryan Blaney.
Ryan, it's good to meet you. When you walked in, you did not have a mustache.
Yeah, my whole beard, mustache, hair got taken care of like 2 days ago, unfortunately.
What was the story behind it?
Just the Penske group, they enjoy me being a little bit more clean shaven.
Like the Yankees. They're like the Yankees.
Yeah, I get away with it in the playoffs. Like I had a playoff beard and stuff like that. But I figured for this we should shave it off. I got some push to shave it.
From just Penske or from people that love you?
Both.
Okay, I felt that. I get that push sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you want a funny goatee or funny sideburns? And by push, you mean like a punch in the shoulder. At least I do.
Yeah, it's more of like hey, we can't tell you what to do, but you should probably think about this.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
This is Morgan. So Morgan is one of my dearest friends. We work together. She's also a massive NASCAR fan.
Okay.
No, massive. I'm talking about.
I got nervous this morning.
Because?
Because I listened to your podcast. Glass
Oh, did
Case.
ya?
Yeah, and that's sort of what got me back into NASCAR. I grew up watching with my dad. And so I'm probably like shaking right now, like, oh my God, this is the biggest celebrity I've ever met.
what would we like about Ryan? You know Ryan, obviously, from being a fan of his podcast and him racing. Morgan, what would I like most about Ryan as a person?
He seems very down to earth, has good music taste.
You're from
Likes
like,
Ford
are you from like
Broncos.
Ohio? You Ohio?
I'm from Ohio, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in North Carolina, but I'm from Ohio.
So, when did the grow up happen? What age did you go to North Carolina?
Oh, we moved there when I was 5 or 6.
Okay, so
pretty
you're
young.
you're North Carolinian.
Yeah.
Got it.
I always say I'm from Ohio, but
And your family has, and for those that don't know, your dad, your grandpa, your uncle, all in racing.
yeah. So my dad raced, World of Outlaw sprint cars from the 80s to the 90s up in Ohio, and late 90s he made the move to NASCAR, and he was older. I mean, he was 35, 36, and that's old. I mean, to go to NASCAR, especially nowadays, you see teenagers getting into it. So, and before that, my grandfather was a dirt racer from Ohio, so I just kind of grew up around it, and lucky to watch, my dad kind of do his job at a young age, and lucky to be able to do the same thing.
Are you amazed you didn't burn out, being that it was around you all the time?
Yeah, a little bit. I go back and look at it. I feel like that happens a lot to, kids whose families are in a certain area, right? Whether it's sports or banking, whatever profession. I feel like if you're around all the time, it is easy for a kid to get burnt out. I see it all the time with young kids playing sports. Their parents are telling them to, go play ball year round, and you can kind of get burnt out of it. But luckily, I never did.
If you told your dad, I want to be a veterinarian, he would have said,
Yeah, he wouldn't have minded. I mean, Dad was, I tell people, Dad never pushed me to do anything. He always made sure that I wanted to do it and had the full passion to do it. Because if you're going to halfway do something, I mean, why are you going to do it, right? If you're not fully passionate about it. So, he never forced me to do it. He was always very, are you sure you wanted to go to this next step? Are you sure you want to continue pursuing this? And luckily, I never had any different ideas.
I'm going to ask some really unintelligent questions, not purposefully, but I know they'll come off as that, so please forgive me. And then Morgan's here to ask the intelligent questions. So I want to ask about numbers on cars. So you drive the number 12 Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
Is it like jerseys where, let's say you get into the league and Cam Newton wants this number, and he's like, you know what, Jimmy Clausen, I want number 2. And Jimmy Clausen's like, I ain't giving you number 2. Do you have to pick from the numbers available? And what if you want a number that already exists on a car?
That's a good question. So the teams own the numbers. So like
Wow.
Roger Penske, my owner, he owns the 12, the 2, and the 22.
Do you
Those
buy
are
that
his.
like an auction? I'm going to get a number 2.
Yeah, it's like
That's
cool. It's something that's been established for a long time.
Wow.
Like, and they trademark the numbers and stuff like that.
Does anyone have
and
69?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
I think that's
Hey,
the
you
next
can buy
step.
that one, Bones.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, you could.
I'm out there in my local car. 69.
You could go. You could. I think you should be the number 69 when we come back here next year and race
Hilarious.
Nashville.
So, but did you get to choose since he owned the number? Was it like, all right, Ryan, you're 12?
Yeah, he kind of, when we decided a handful of years ago that I was going to drive the 12, it was just what he had, and growing up, my number was always 10. My granddad was 10, my dad was 10 for a long time, but yeah, it's something we don't really get to choose, which is fine with me.
I never got to pick my stupid radio name. It was like, your name's Bobby Bones. I'm like, Bones? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
You
But
didn't get to pick that?
No, but I was 17, 18, and I was like, that sounds like a pirate. And so that was my name assigned, and everywhere I went was connected. I could never leave it.
Yeah.
And so even, to this day, Bobby's my real name, but Bones is not.
Yeah.
And I feel for you, man. You're 12 as my Bones.
Right. Well, it's hard to hate it, right? It's what you're known for.
I don't know. People look at me weird.
What would you have chosen?
My real name.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is Blaney. Bobby Blaney.
Bobby Blaney.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
That Gran Turismo movie came out, and could that ever happen in real life where somebody's so good at a video game they could be a car driver?
I thought that was a true story.
No, in NASCAR, though. It is a true story. That's why it's so crazy. But I'm asking him,
Okay.
like, could you just rock out on some NASCAR on PS5 and then be like, I'm ready to hop on the track?
Yeah, I don't know. There's like all the simulation stuff is like pretty good now. Like, all right, like the video games on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, like take those out of it. Like there's all these, like iRacing's a big one. I don't know if you ever heard of iRacing before. It's like a really good computer simulation game. Like that's actually grown a lot. And some kids have actually done it. Like they started when they were younger. And
what's
and
the
they,
I stand for? Eyeball, or like I as in it stands for I letter?
I letter.
Got it.
Yeah. Some kids do that and they get a shot, but it's not very often. The biggest thing separating between those two is there's no risk, right? Like if you mess up, you just press a button and you're resetting, right? There's no fear of danger. It's like playing Madden. Like, you're not going to get
That's
laid
why
out
you gamble
by
on it, right, guys?
by the line.
Gamble a lot of money, so there's risk. Yes,
Exactly. So no one's gambling on video games. Maybe some people do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you guys do.
We have leagues. We have a whole league of NBA 2K, and you win.
Yeah?
You win. Yeah, I can't. Not officially. Not government. We're all good.
We're not
all
doing that.
good out here.
not doing
We're actually not gambling at
No,
all.
not at all. We're just making stuff up.
Yeah.
So you were encouraged probably, but you weren't told, hey, we want you to be a race car driver.
Yeah.
Or a driver. What would you say? A driver?
A driver, race car driver. Yeah, same thing.
And from a young age, were you naturally, did you have some sort of intrinsic racing gene? Or was it more nurture than nature?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think some of this stuff, like as far as being talented, is like genetics, and I think that's with anything. But then I think a lot of it is also learning, right? Like you could be the kid of the best, race car driver, football player, basketball player out there, but if you don't apply yourself, then you're not going to succeed. So I was fortunate that I was able to see it at a young age and like understand the inner workings of the sport and how everything operated, and talk to dad at a young age, of kind of how he goes about it, and then have him there, teaching me when I was kind of getting going. I think that was a huge kind of advantage for me. So that part I think is big. So I think it's a lot of kind of leadership and guiding young kids to where they need to be that grow them into, adults that can be successful at their job.
You look like somebody who's fit, but are you a good athlete? Could you have done other sports where you're just naturally, your hand-eye coordination's awesome?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn, but
I asked the question.
Athletic.
You didn't just volunteer this. I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
No.
So fun fact, my dad has one brother. He's 6'4", 6'5". And we got the short sheet. I'm like 5'10". My dad's like 5'9". And so he's in the Hall of Fame at West Virginia for basketball.
Wow.
He got drafted by the Lakers in the 80s and got injured.
And that's your uncle? That's like your blood?
My uncle.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's brother. And he's a race car driver too. He's fantastic. But he got the chance to go play NBA ball, and he got hurt and didn't want to do it and hated L.A., being from a small town in Ohio. So he kind of came back and ended up racing. But yeah, I feel like we're all athletic in your own way, right? Like
that's what people would say about how good looking I was.
My
at
mom
church, they'd be
thinks
like,
I'm
you're
good.
pretty in your own way.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
my mom thinks I'm athletic.
Can you be like 6'9" and be a race car driver? Or do you just make the car bigger? Or is it, if you were 5'2" and really athletic, that would be the ultimate?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us are kind of the same height. Like all of us are in between like 5'6" and like 6 foot. And there's a couple guys that were, my teammate Austin Cindric, he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Is he a giant? Because I went to Japan once.
a giant.
I was a giant there.
Yeah.
I walked around. I was like, this is awesome. I want to move here and dominate.
He's a giant here. I mean, I stand
Yeah.
next to him. I'm like, this is messed up.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Morgan, let's do some intelligent questions now. Morgan number one's here with Ryan Blaney. All
I
right,
don't know
Morgan.
if they're intelligent, but I kind of just want to be nosy. I've always been curious because y'all don't actually work on the cars that you're driving on Sundays. There's a whole team behind
Yeah.
it. Are there any drivers in Cup that you think would actually struggle to change their own tire if they got a flat on the interstate?
No, I don't. That's pretty basic. Like,
or
I
that
don't
they
think,
call AAA and they just wouldn't deal with it? Denny is calling AAA.
Is he?
Classic.
You
I think
so?
he is.
Yeah. I could see that maybe. I think 95% of us could do it. No problem.
Okay.
I think most of us though. But I feel like it's a convenience thing. Like, do you actually want to do it
Right.
or not?
And you probably wouldn't have to.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have to, but I feel like I don't want to wait for AAA for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Could you take your car apart and put it back together?
Which one? My race car?
Who
or
cares? I don't know. Any
a
car.
normal car.
Do you have to know every single thing about basically
Taking them apart is really easy.
it's putting them back together?
Putting them back together is the tough thing. I couldn't do the whole thing. No.
Could you fix, let's say Lunchbox's car. He's got an Ultima. What year is it?
05.
He's got an 05 Ultima. It's
Yeah.
got how many miles?
215,000.
I have zero help for you on that one.
But if he didn't know that you were a driver and his
Yeah.
hood was up, could you pull up and be like, I think it's the Casamambi shaft?
Casamambi shaft. I might be able to know. I don't
Yeah.
know. You just have to look, see what it is. Like I said, I'm not very like street cars and race cars are so different. Like how they operate. I mean, all street cars nowadays, if they're 5 years old, I mean, they're 80% electronic anyway, you know, so it's all a system and a, you know, something that I have no idea how to work.
Well, good news. Mine's 18 years old, so it doesn't have any of that
Perfect.
computer
Yeah.
stuff.
Mine's
Yeah,
right
so
up.
I might be actually able to help you.
It still has a hole in the feet like Fred Flintstone. You run it that way. Morgan?
Okay, let's talk about wrecks for a second because it's always scary watching as a viewer when you see a car go up in flames. I feel like it's probably happened to you.
Yep.
And I just think to myself, I would want to bail out immediately, but sometimes the car is still moving. Sometimes you have to wait for it to come to a stop. Like, what's it like in your head when your car is on fire and you're stuck in the oven and what's going through your head?
Oven? Is that what it's called?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just making that up right now.
Got it.
Feels like one. It's yeah, I've been on fire a few times, and it's not fun. Fire is not good in that aspect, but our suits are pretty decent. Like as far as our fire suits are fairly kind of flame proof for like 20 seconds, and then they kind of start
That's
eating
not a
through
long
it.
window of time.
Well, I'm not sitting here like I'm on fire. Like my whole body's on fire. Like the car's kind of on fire, and I'm
That's
trying
crazy.
to get out.
That's crazy.
But
though.
yeah, you got to stop before you get out. I mean, you can't just bail out of it running 50. So you got to. But yeah, it's not a fun thing. But you understand you're going to have wrecks as a driver. I've had a few really bad ones this year, and you just know that's part of the sport.
Yeah.
So
You hit a wall pretty hard in Nashville.
here, yeah.
This summer. I was at that race and thought, wow, I got hit by a car once in college. And I just will never forget the impact. I didn't break any bones, shockingly. But that moment where it just like knocks the wind out of you, what is the feeling of a driver when you have an impact like that?
Yeah, some of them are worse than others, and you know, sometimes it's kind of weird. The ones that maybe don't look as bad are sometimes the worst. I feel like most of it is just catching your breath. We're pretty safe in there. I mean, we're in a big cocoon, but a lot of times, I mean, every bit of the force is going to the softest thing in the car, and that's us. And the biggest thing we focus on and try to, you know, get out of the sport nowadays is all the concussion stuff that's going on. You know, it's hard to get all that stuff weeded out, and it's like the never-ending search of how to make, you know, your brain bucket a little bit safer, you know, in the cars and in any sport. But yeah, it's usually a few days to recover when that happens.
So after a wreck, they send you guys to the infield care center to check you out. I've always been so curious. I'm like, do sometimes they have like mild concussion symptoms that only you know you have, and drivers just go, I'm still going to drive anyway. I'm not going to sit out.
They have a pretty good protocol for that stuff. As far as concussion symptoms, we have a few other companies we work with that are really good at that, kind of weeding through it. And yeah, you've seen some guys sit out because they are a little messed up. Fortunately, I haven't been that way that I know of too much. But yeah, there's a pretty strict process of if you're concussed or not, and if you can compete the next week.
I would practice acting not concussed. I mean, honestly, and I have friends that play ball, and they go. The new thing is, if they feel like they've had kind of their bell rung, they lay on the ground longer. Because I'm not giving you tips, don't listen to this, Ryan. But they lay on the ground longer because as long as they don't get up and show that they're off balance or say the wrong thing, they can always act like it's an ankle or a toe or something that is not. And then they have practiced how to not act concussed.
Yeah,
which is not healthy.
That's the thing, right? It's like the competitor in you wants to keep going, right? But for your long-term health, it's like you need to. And I think for the longest time, all sports were like that. Like no one ever paid attention to the brain health, concussion stuff.
Life is like that. You know, mental health was not at least for, I grew up in Arkansas. We didn't have, we didn't have therapists. I go to one every day now. So yeah, we're kind of realizing the brain's important, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have thought the brain would have told us that a long time ago, though? Like, it's the freaking brain. You should have told us that. Do you ever get sick, like have flu or a bug or something before you go out and you just have to suck it up?
I've had them a few times, yeah. Having a bug before the race, and it's not fun. Honestly, it's sweating in the car is like the best thing. You know, it's super hot in those cars. So like I had the flu a handful of years ago, racing in Chicago. It's like 95 out. And I'm just baking in the race car and just sweating everything. I actually felt better after the race than what I did before because I sweat out all the
Just
whatever
kind of
was in me.
fast-tracked whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be a thing. Go sit in a sauna if you have the flu and it might flush it out.
See, I don't think I could be a race car driver strictly from. I get mean when I'm hot. You know what I mean?
And hungry. You get me when you're hungry too.
And hungry.
Yeah.
But that could help because you get aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe agitated.
Ryan gets pretty aggressive. Your scanner audio is always really fun to listen
It's
to.
always fun to-
Oh,
Yeah.
she was listening to the scanner audio.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's the thing, right?
It's not just his though. Like
that?
Let me explain to everybody what I hear. We're in DC. I'm doing a show at Warner Theater, and I'm going on in like 25 minutes. great night. And Morgan's got her headphones in. I'm thinking, probably listen to some old jokes I did. You know, I'm about to go on stage and be funny. And I look at her computer, and there's racing. I'm like, what do you watch? She goes, well, I'm listening to the scanner audio of them talking to each other.
It was a championship. Okay. So we're getting down to the final four. And I've seen your show a few times. So, but.
Oh, that's true. She has seen it a bunch of times. Yes. The scanner audio sounds pretty intense, though.
It can get intense, yeah.
I love they released it. They should do football, too.
Yeah.
I thought they did mic people up.
Yeah, I love the hot mic, like the hot mics in the NFL.
The scanner's like they're talking to each other. He's talking to his team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you know that, too, all the time? You're like, listen, I got some stuff to say, but they may be recording this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still like on our scanners, radios, there's 3 people, right? So there's a driver with the radio, crew chief, and like a spotter with the radio. So there's only 3 people you're going to hear. But yeah, we have buttons on our steering wheel that we can talk, and yeah, it's just a live mic. Anyone can listen to it.
Does your girlfriend ever get to like pop in and give you encouragement? Like, go get him, baby. You got it.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't
She
do that.
totally should.
You just did an impression of somebody, but you sound exactly like you when you did that impression. Like, she literally sounded no different than herself.
You got it, baby.
You got it. And we're like, are you doing an impression or?
That's half me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You like Broncos?
I have 2, yeah.
I have it. This is mine. It was like kids.
What you got?
I have a 77.
77. I have an 85.
Yeah.
And I have a new one.
My first car was an 85 Bronco.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm really sad that
You want to buy this?
sold it. But
You want to buy this?
What you said it's a 74?
77. It's the last year they made the body style.
Who made it?
Ford.
Well, it looks like it's got some
I know nothing.
stuff on it.
Ford.
Listen, I don't know. Mr. Bronco. I have no idea. I don't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, I want to find an old Bronco. And we found this. It took like a year before we could find it because they sell so fast. And we had to redo it. We did completely rebuilt it, whatever that means.
Yeah, it looks redone. It looks nice.
It's jacked up. Mm-hmm. It's got a radio.
That's all you need.
Am I doing a good job of describing it?
dude.
Thank you.
Jacked
It's
up,
blue.
radio.
Got tires on it.
I literally know. I don't know anything about it, but yeah, it's fun. But we only really drive it in the warm because it's old car. I don't know how they drive in the 70s. That sucked.
It was the best they had at the time.
I just rode horses, even in the 70s. This thing's like seat belt is only a strap. There's no shoulder strap.
Yeah. I had an old truck that was from the early '60s. It has no seatbelts in it
At all.
No, and it was fine because I guess it was.
They grandfather that law in. If it doesn't have seatbelts, you don't have to put them in.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like if it's before a certain year, you don't have to have seatbelts to pass inspection or anything like that. Yeah.
That's
because it's like an antique or something.
Yeah, if it's a certain year old, they didn't have that law, I guess, back then. So they're like, well, we can't put it in now. But I didn't feel very safe driving around with no seatbelt.
Do you ever have dreams of wrecking or dreams of racing? Because I would have dreams of like being on stage or being late to work and missing. Does that ever happen to you?
I'll sometimes have dreams of like missing practice, like sleeping in, missing the race, like those types of dreams. Those aren't fun.
Has that ever happened where you've been late to something like that? Not the race, but maybe qualifying or something? Do you have like 3 people to come wake you up if you've not shown up?
I'm usually pretty good on the weekends of like knowing my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an early riser anyway, so I usually don't have to worry about sleeping in past. I've missed the plane a few times, the team plane.
And then what?
You just take this
Well,
on.
I've been late. I've been like 30 minutes late. No wait on you. You just feel like a jerk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morgan, 2 final questions. We have Ryan Blaney with us. And by the way, let me say this. The NASCAR Awards are Sunday, December 3rd on Peacock. I know we mentioned that before he came in. But NASCAR Awards, Sunday, December 3rd on Peacock at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. And be sure to check it out. Ryan Blaney 10 is his Instagram and his Twitter. Morgan, go ahead.
You think you'll ever get into any fights? I mean,
Fights?
you had some, yeah. I feel like you've been in the background of people's fights. I see you in videos just trying to like get out of the way.
Yeah.
But you're lively on the scanner. You and Ross, I don't know if you have those clips. Y'all had your moment at
do have a
the
clip.
championship race. And I don't know if that's like real beef that goes into the next season or not, but I'm advocating right now for you to get into a fist fight.
Let me hear
next
this.
You are.
Let me hear this. Go ahead, Ray.
Right, I hit him on purpose. I mean, yeah.
show.
Yes, I hit him on purpose. He blocked me on purpose 10 times. So, yeah.
So what is that? That's not in the car?
No, that was in the media center. Yeah.
Got it. I was like, man, those scanners sound good. They got people
They
right
have
in
a
the back.
crowd. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for me personally, the thing with he and I was fine. Like it was more of just a racing thing, and it's
In the moment.
type stuff. Like I don't really ever hold grudges unless it's something like super egregious that you think someone did on purpose. But something like that, I don't really hold any grudges. But I guess I have to get in a fist fight now.
I think
because
it's
she
good
told
for
me
your
to.
storyline next season
Yeah?
to pick an arch nemesis.
Weren't you
and just
voted
go
like
for it.
most likable dude?
I don't know. Maybe.
you're everybody like I was just doing a little recon with some people I know that are inside. And they were like, no, everybody loves Ryan.
Oh,
I was
that's
like, give me something. They were like, no, dude, seriously, everybody loves Ryan. And I was like, great.
Well, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
That is like you
nice
brought
things to
gifts
say
too.
to
That's super cool. What's this? Is this your helmet?
So we make little mini replica helmets.
Try it on,
Oh,
Bones.
that's cool.
Hey, try it on.
Squeeze it.
My head is way too large anyway for a normal helmet.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we brought you a champ T-shirt too. So
Thank you.
figured we'd bring you some gifts.
Morgan, last question.
I was told to ask. You're apparently throwing a big championship party. What's going on with that?
Yeah, we're throwing one tomorrow night for all our group, all our team guys, and their spouses and kids and stuff like that at Miranda Lambert. So that should
Her
be a lot
house
of
or
fun.
her
Her
bar?
house or bar?
I wish it would house.
Oh,
Did you,
got it.
did you find a
Casa Rosa.
performer? Wasn't that a thing?
What's that?
You're looking for a performer.
I was looking for a performer. I'm good buddies with a lot of guys down here in Nashville, and I love country music. So like, been fortunate to get to know a lot of people around here, and I was back and forth if I wanted to ask any of my buddies to play because I'm like, well, I want to celebrate with you. I don't want you to have to come work.
They can just hop up.
Or
for
they
a
can
few
hop
songs.
up.
I think that's what's going to happen. They'll hop up for one or two.
Absolutely.
Play
It's
with the
acoustic
cover
guitar.
band. Yeah.
Or a cover. Oh, yes.
Like
So-
I don't like if one of them was inviting me to like their Grammy party, I wouldn't want them to like make me give rides.
No, you drive. Yeah, you drive everybody around.
So it would be a fun night though. Yeah,
But
it'd be
also,
fun.
people like to, if you're a friend, if I did my buddy's charity event last week, like, hey, we do this comedy. And I was like, yeah, sure. If you're a friend too, it's like, it's cool. It's a way to celebrate you. And they
Yeah.
want to do it, but I hate asking too.
Yeah.
I hate being like, I love doing it, but I hate asking people to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, same.
Well, look, you're awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And here, I found it. You're voted the #1 most likable driver by the NASCAR Fan Council.
Oh wow.
Did you not know that?
No.
Bring his trophy in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bring my
No
trophy
idea.
in.
Now you know.
I wonder if I get in a fight, will that boost it or bring it down?
I think it'll help.
We're
It
gonna find
depends
out.
who you fight.
I'm
Yeah,
an
that's
artist
true.
manager, and I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
think it'll help.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Perfect.
can I ask you? And I know this isn't really race car related, but can you talk about your foundation for a second? The Blaney Family Foundation.
Yeah, we started that in 2018. When we started our foundation, we wanted to have something that we were personally had a tie to, and we work with the Alzheimer's Association a lot. My grandfather had Alzheimer's. That's a tough one to watch someone go through. So we work with them. We work with UPMC, which is a kind of concussion brain health out of Pittsburgh. So a lot of brain health stuff that we do, and been really fortunate to meet a lot of great folks that are currently trying to, whether it's in-home, out-of-home care, just procedures, trying to figure out what the next steps are. So it's been a blast the last 6 years getting to meet everybody and learn more about it and help out where we can. So hopefully we keep going.
Do you have a sports psychologist
Not
that you see regularly?
No, I got a guy who I wouldn't call him a sports psychologist though.
So different than a therapist, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
What does
but
this
you,
mean?
But you don't go to a sports psychologist to be like, I can't pass. My brains keep me from passing number 30. Nothing.
No, his name's Jeremy, and he's just he works with a lot of different athletes. Just kind of, not motivational stuff, but
It's like
a lot of confidence.
Yeah, like a therapist. I mean,
Yeah, a little bit. Not like it's more of like a
crying on the
it's a
couch.
very loose
No, we hear
end
you. No, you're
kinda
crying on the
thing,
couch,
yeah.
Ryan. We hear
Yeah,
you.
I'm on
Yes.
the couch every day.
Oh, sorry.
Like the girl that works at the office in the show Billions. It's like
I don't watch the show.
you don't watch Billions?
Never seen it.
Do you?
No.
Okay, it's such
So
a good
good.
show, but like the traders sometimes if they're not on their A game, they're not able if they've got stuff messing with their head or they're not focused. She helps them get right in their mind because then they have better performance on the floor, whatever they're trading or whatnot. So I just didn't. And it's literally her sole job, and it's
Yeah.
how she gets into their psyche is kind of crazy. But also, do you use visualization? Like,
A little bit. I'm not the most confident person out there, and it's been that way my whole life. And I honestly, my dad was like a very big visual guy to me during like our playoffs and our season. And my dad is just like me, like very soft-spoken, very quiet and reserved. But Dad was like the motivational guy for me, which was super shocking to me. But I think he was kind of more that person than anybody this year, which was really neat. So
Well, we really appreciate your time. I'm taking away this Logano helmet. And we're
They're
going.
on the same team, man.
yeah, you can keep that one. I know
That
mine
don't
is.
matter. I've seen fistfights within teams.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I,
other
need
things, lots of-
I should have brought a big one to.
well, this will be the placeholder. Then you send a big one. We'll change it out.
There we go.
Yeah. Great to meet you. Thank you. You're as equally as awesome as everybody said. Morgan, anything you want to say?
just keep doing you. And I hope you get a
point.
second
Keep doing you.
championship
Yep.
next year.
Keep
Oh,
doing
thank you.
Get another one.
That's
champ.
good, Morgan.
Do people recognize you and be like, "What up, champ?" and just yell like awesome things?
Sometimes I change my look up a lot though.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
hair,
You're telling me you're
beard,
walking in here,
mustache,
your
yeah.
freaking face is.
I know I change my look up
shaved.
too much, but yeah, it's
That'd be awesome. Just people
pretty
yell
neat.
champ at you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Mostly like I'm in there, they're like, "Hey, douchebag," and I'm like, "That's all fun." You know what I mean? All right, there he is, Ryan Blaney. Thank you, Ryan Blaney.
Thanks, man.
All right, championship weekend recap. Liberty, New Mexico State. Who cares?
Liberty wins.
Liberty.
Liberty.
This was such a who's going to make the CFP that it was like, okay, go get him, Liberty.
Yeah.
The Washington Oregon game. Washington jumped out quick. Oregon made it a game, but it was just too many possessions with too little time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Bo Nix covering his head with a towel. And then it was Bo Nix going to the NFL after like 84 years in college.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So, I mean, Washington, they put it to them. Hey, the score, by the way, Oregon throws this pass. You see it when there's like a minute left. That pass, the wide receiver run all the way in and scored a touchdown.
Touchdown, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God, we may have a little game here.
Yeah.
Because I had Oregon. I ended up live betting it. I had like Oregon +7, so I ended up winning some money on that.
That's good.
But I thought they were going to come. I thought they might win the thing.
I know.
They didn't. Washington's awesome. Let's just say it. They're awesome. Why in the world would they give Oregon the old minus sign against Washington after they beat them 2 times, 3 times in a row now?
10 points, too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Texas and Oklahoma State. First of all, Oklahoma State's the worst defense I've ever seen. I think they were playing 8-man football on defense at some points of the game. I watched most of this game. They could not stop Texas. But then they would score, and I was like, this may be 100-100. And then they just ran out of ammo on offense, too.
And they turned the ball over or bad snap. Yeah.
So Texas, they did jump out early, but I did feel like Oklahoma State could kind of claw their way back in. But they, at one point, it was just over. They couldn't do anything. They definitely weren't going to stop them. And then they had fallen behind too many possessions. I did think it was cool that they put in the guy that tore his ACL in the last play of the game, the running back.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he tore his ACL. I don't know where I was when that happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Wait, what did he do? Just stand there?
Yeah, his last play, it was victory formation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's cool. Alabama, 27-24. Alabama made plays when they needed to make the plays. That's it. I know there was a couple calls where the one catch, like it wasn't even a catch. That happens every game.
At the end of the first half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens every game.
Definitely not a catch, but I'm right there with you. I agree.
And I got a future in Alabama, so
So there's that.
There we go.
So I'm gonna be honest with my bias there. SMU put it on Tulane, which I was a little surprised by.
Yeah.
No, I mean not super surprised. I didn't care enough to be super surprised.
I mean, we've watched a lot of SMU Tulane games.
I've watched no SMU, and I've watched a little bit of Tulane though.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
twice.
said you watched a quarter or something.
Maybe that's what it. Yeah, twice. A quarter and then this one. That's it. So, but yeah, Tulane, that sucks because here they are. They're gonna go undefeated and get to claim their share of whatever, and they lose to SMU. Dun dun dun. Michigan whooped Iowa. This game is stupid, and I hate it.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
The game was never a game.
No. I mean, Iowa didn't score, did they?
No. I took the freaking plus. I took Iowa first half.
Yeah. Plus
2.5. No,
over 2
2.5
points.
points.
Over 2 points.
All they had to do is kick a field goal, and they got in range. They fumbled it.
Yeah.
I bet $1,000 on them to score 3
dude.
points in the first half. That was the bet. Easiest money ever made. Nope. Stupid. They were even in field goal range at one time, and they fumbled it. It was not a game. Michigan leaned on the run game. They shut them down. Iowa sucks. Everybody sucks.
Michigan looked like they were like just messing with them.
Yes.
Like, yeah, let's just win this and get out of here.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And the Florida State Louisville game, it was a pretty ugly game.
Oof.
It was during this game when I was watching, I was like, God, I hope Florida State doesn't make the playoff. They should. If they win, but they shouldn't.
Yes.
Because it is not going to be good. So that was college. If we go to the NFL, speaking of ugly games, god dang, the Chargers and Patriots. Maybe one of the ugliest games I've ever seen in my life. The weather was also bad.
Yeah.
It was just terrible, man.
Yeah,
It was terrible. I honestly thought the Chargers would play a lot better than that, but I guess they're bad too.
Hey, they won. Never apologize for a win.
That's true.
God, the Patriots. They wanted to lose. They did lose.
I think they've allowed 26 points in the last 4 games, and they've lost all of them.
Do you have what the draft order would be right now?
They moved into second because the Cardinals won. Boom. Now we need Carolina to lose, baby.
They can do that.
Come on.
They can do that.
Man, that's cool. You need who to lose?
Carolina, because they've only won 1 game.
You need them to win.
Or sorry, to win. Did I say lose? Yeah, I meant to win. Sorry.
That's
I meant to win. Yeah.
That's a hard ask.
I mean, even though the Bears have it, but we need them to win.
That's a big ask.
Yeah.
Colts and Titans ended up going in overtime. Folk missed an extra point in the fourth quarter.
As Tannehill the holder.
Dude, what the? I mean, good. The Titans lost, so they're staying in a decent draft pick too. But what just a terrible, just terrible game. They wanted to win. They were fighting. They still lost. Lions beat the Saints. That game got to be okay, but it was not okay for a long time. Like the Lions just ran out. I mean,
did you see the guy snap his leg on the sideline?
I saw it. No. I was watching. I did not watch it. So I was watching, but I did not watch it.
Dude was just standing there.
I don't like to see.
Yeah, one of those the chain guys.
Yeah, got rolled up on him.
I hate that.
You're just snapped.
Terrible.
I hate that. Mahomes even ran into one of those guys and he held him up. I'm like, thanks for doing that, because most players don't even help anyone up.
Most players, but you don't see that though. Sometimes.
Yeah, they're just playing.
You're just going.
No, I'm saying after the hit.
Sometimes you don't even know you've been hit by other people. You don't know who you hit.
Right.
I'm sure sometimes that's the case where they're like, yeah, if everybody.
Kamara looked down at him though, and he's like, "Oh, I can't even help that." He's like,
and then ran back on the field.
I can't look at that.
Yeah, he double taked.
Kamara had a pretty good game though.
Yeah.
I have my fantasy teams. How I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Falcons and Jets. This is ugly.
Oh boy.
I was really hoping the Jets would win that though, just so we could have more Aaron Rodgers talk about him coming back. But if they can't beat the Falcons,
the number one Falcons. It's so weird when they say that. You're like, wait, what? Yeah. Like my kids and I had to go back to check the standings again. What are they talking about?
Well, but yeah, because the Bucs though won too, so they're both tied for the lead, but they have the tiebreaker. But yeah, the Bucs barely beat the Panthers.
Crazy.
It was just an ugly weekend for football in general, because NFL especially, the games were not that good, or they were weather bad, or quarterbacks were hurt. Like the Cardinals and Steelers. I'm going to tell you another bet I made. I only made 3 bets the whole weekend. I bet $500 on Kenny Pickett plus 199 yards. He throws 50 yards first drive. Boom. I'm like, let's freaking go. This is the easiest money I ever made. Gets hurt out of the game, the whole game, first quarter.
Oh, God. Is that kind of bet? Ugh.
I thought they may give me my money back because he got injured so early.
So early, huh?
They don't.
They do
that.
sometimes.
They do?
They will. Yeah, they'll go, hey, because of the injury, they will refund the money.
Like, I feel bad for you. Here's your money back.
No, I feel bad, but I don't know, man. That sucked. So I lost that one. Stupid Cardinals. Dolphins beat the Commanders. Tyreek Hill's amazing. Dolphins are good against teams that aren't great.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos lost to the Texans. We talked about that. Big interception, Jimmy Ward. Baker Mayfield's my hero, but that's because Bryce Young threw a pick at the end of the game.
When you're a big Baker guy.
This big Baker show here, too.
Yeah, sure.
Rams, they scored a bunch of points. Stafford had 3 touchdowns. What do you want? Flacco is old, and who cares?
I can't believe he just came in and played.
Who cares?
My son in the backseat goes, Dad, who's Joe Flacco? I'm like, why? Because he's playing today. I'm like, what?
In a game that was interesting, because the games were so bad. Like, I try to think back, like, what game did I want to talk about? It's not Chargers Patriots. That game sucked. Colts and Titans. It was just like 2 teams who neither one of them wanted to win. So it's like, who's going to last longer at not losing? Lions and Saints, that game, the Saints were terrible. Carr was stolen. It was just, everything was ugly.
Yeah, it was a bad Sunday.
49ers and Eagles, we thought was going to be good for a second.
No.
Debo, he's awesome. When they put 2 backs in the backfield, they run that dual back with McCaffrey and Debo. Like, it's just like, both of them will kill you.
That game felt like a WWE game. Like, once the security guard got kicked out, did you see this, Bones?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
what's his name? Butch?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody acted like they knew the dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen that guy in my life.
He pointed his face.
Yeah. And then
awesome.
49er guy kind of like swipes him in the nose, whatever. They both get kicked out of the game. When the head of security gets kicked out of the game and everyone's pushing each other, I'm like, what am I watching here?
Did you see LeBron?
Yeah. Ime Udoka?
Yeah, go at it.
Yeah.
Because Ime said, stop being, like, itching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron's like, you choose that word. I don't like that word, whatever. And he goes over and...
You didn't like that word?
No. So then he went over and he said, talking to LeBron, he said, what are you going to do about it? You're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you're walking over here like you're going to do something. You ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's funny. Then I saw a bunch of pictures of them playing against each other through the years from back when LeBron was younger.
And LeBron's looking old, man.
Yeah, but he still
plays great. He still plays great. But I mean, the look on the court, the way he moves.
He is the oldest player in the NBA. Yeah. Which is wild. Dude, you need to play your freaking NBA games. There's only
Bones. I need to get on my PS5.
There's only 5 days left for the playoffs.
I get it. I saw that text come through, but I haven't called customer support. I still
Then
can't
just
get
get
on
a
my.
create a new account.
No, but then I'll lose everything. I gotta buy a whole new game.
Call customer support today before you leave work.
You sure?
No, you don't have to buy a new game. It's stored on your PlayStation.
Exactly.
Okay.
I looked into it.
Man, I've
'cause I
had
care
I've
about
had
it.
that account since I was in college.
Tell me about the Packers and Chiefs because I started watching Squid Game, the challenge, and watched like 2 episodes. And I was like, I can turn over and watch the game. Then I was like, screw it. So I just saw some of the people complaining about the non-pass interference during the Hail Mary.
It went both ways, though.
Both ways, the whole game.
Yeah, the whole, especially the last 2 minutes was really both ways. I mean, there was
as far as missed calls.
Yeah, non-pass interference, the rough in the hit on Patrick Mahomes when he was clearly in bounds, and then they stopped the clock when they shouldn't have stopped the clock. So it went both ways. It was just bad officiating.
But if you're going to cancel out bad calls both ways, it's a pretty even game. I mean, the Chiefs couldn't score.
Yeah,
Jordan Love looked good.
He looked good.
Really?
Really good.
Man, he's been coming on.
I know. I think the last 3 games he got like 9 touchdowns, no picks. He looks really good.
for
They
him.
look good. The
I'm rooting
Chiefs,
for him because people have just been mean to him.
Yep.
yeah. And Chiefs have no flow, like offensive flow. Pacheco got kicked out. Once he got kicked out, they were kind of done because he was the only one doing anything.
He got kicked out on a punch.
Yeah, punched a guy.
Punched a dude.
What dude?
Somebody, like whoever tackled him was laying on him, kind of the heavyweight laying on you kind of thing. They were trying to get him off. And then once they got off, Pacheco threw a punch. And
Seen the video of him blocking for Mahomes, where it's like, get you a running back that blocks like this, and he's in the backfield and he's picking up the blitzer, and he looks like a chihuahua going to town on some dude's foot. And
because he's not that big.
No, but that linebacker has no chance.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
He runs angry.
Yeah.
But he blocks angry too. It was crazy to see. Okay, well, my futures are Baltimore, the Cowboys,
Let's go, baby.
Bama.
Solid teams. 3 solid teams. Pretty good payouts too, I bet.
I can look. Also, speaking of our bets, yeah, it sucks.
Man, I had a good first day.
Dude, you ran. Well, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're in the next round.
Hey, you know what got me there? Liberty, baby. Liberty Flames. Undefeated Liberty.
And were you scared at halftime, though? I think it was tied at halftime.
I didn't watch the game, dude.
Eddie, you got 3 right. Reed, you got 3 right. Kevin and I only got 1 right each.
So does that knock both of you guys out?
No, we tie break like we said.
Oh, all right.
So we'll each
forgot about
pick one, and then we'll pick the winning. So there's not another tie.
Yeah.
We'll each write down what we think the winning score by the winning team is.
Okay. Oh boy, that's tough.
So whomever wins closest to that score.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight. We'll get to the bet in just a second.
Okay.
But Kevin and I, whoever loses out of Kevin and I, we are out. Yeah, we
Good
suck.
job, Reed.
How are we in, man?
Because we know what we're doing.
Aaron Rodgers unlikely to play again in 2023. You knew this story would come out once they started losing again.
Yes, of
Those
course.
are the Falcons. He ain't coming back if they can't get into it. Dak Prescott playing awesome.
Yeah, man.
Looking at some headlines here. Roger Goodell wants the tush push banned.
No. That's a part of football.
I'm okay either way.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care.
The tush push is so annoying when it's working against you.
Yeah, when it's not, when you're not Philadelphia.
I know. I don't care. It's a play. It's good. I like it. Fine.
Okay, but last night they tried to call it the love push or the love shove.
Oh, love shove.
No, that's dirty, man.
Love shove.
Because Jordan Love did it.
Oh, the
So
love
they're like,
shove.
oh, let's call this the love shove. Like, I don't know about that one, boys.
Who wins the Heisman?
Penix.
Bo Nix.
Who did you bet Knicks?
Yeah.
Bet a future?
Yeah. It was looking good up until the other night.
Go with your heart.
My heart, it's going to be Jaden Daniels.
I think it'll be Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix. But the thing about Jaden Daniels is LSU wasn't as good as Oregon was. The problem, though, is Bo Nix is West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
They're always screwed out of stuff because we don't watch their games as much.
Yeah.
Although they did have a lot of high-profile games this year.
Yeah, if they would have won the other night, I think he would have won it. But
So Michael Penix Jr.'s out? Like,
No, he's not out.
okay, but in y'all's
I think the
mind?
betting favorites, though, are Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix,
yes.
right?
Yep.
What
It swung during that game.
It did?
Yeah.
Because they lost?
Yeah, because they were losing. He was playing bad at first, and then Jaden Daniels took
It was the towel over the head.
took over. Yeah.
They couldn't find him. They're like, we got to fix it.
Is he still here?
New Year's Day, game number 1,
Yes, sir.
Alabama v. Michigan.
That's the game.
Right now, Michigan is the favorite. Michigan -2.
Let's go, baby.
I'll be all over that.
Taking Michigan?
No, he's got the future. He does that. I didn't realize. God.
Do you know the spread on the other game, Eddie? Do you want to guess it?
Yeah, I don't know it.
Okay.
I'll guess it.
So
Texas, Washington.
Yep, Washington versus Texas. Washington 13-0, Texas 12-1. January 1st, 8:45 p.m. Eastern in New Orleans. And
Washington 3.5.
you would not be good in Vegas.
Oh boy.
It is Texas -4.
Yeah, they're crazy. I'll take that any day. Give me the 4 points.
You taking Texas -4?
I'll take Washington. Washington +4.
Got it.
I like it.
Yeah, probably me too.
Absolutely.
Probably me too. All right, Kevin, you want to pull up the game for tonight?
Sure.
Which is
What
why
we
we're
got?
getting this show on today, because we have to pick this game tonight.
What do we got? The Jags?
Jags and Bengals. Bengals.
What's the spread?
It is Jacksonville -10.
Okay.
So whoever wins, you guys got to pick
are
their
you-
score. Closest to the score.
No, but first of all, we make a bet. We pick a bet. Do you have yours that you want to bet?
He hadn't thought about it till now.
No. So you can go ahead if you have one. Actually, I do.
Yeah, pause. Time out. I want to know what went into his head there. I want to know what was the calculations going on in your head when you were trying to figure it out.
Because I was trying to figure out a final score. And then I was looking at the over-under. Because I don't like the 10. I do and I don't. So I'm going to go with the over-under instead.
Okay.
Got it.
Then I'm not taking the over under, so you can have the bet. What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to go over 39.5.
I have over 40 here as my bet. So
Okay,
40.
that's what it's 40?
Yeah.
You guys don't want to do the game?
We can pick any bet on the app on DraftKings. You gonna do over under? You gonna do over 40?
Yeah, I'm going to go over 40.
Okay, I'm going Trevor Lawrence over 240 pass yards.
Okay.
So 40, 240. Just so I can remember this in my head.
Okay, yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence over 240 pass yards. Now, if we both hit, we go to our tiebreaker. If we both lose, we go tiebreaker. If one of us hits, one of us loses, whatever. That person moves on to next week. All makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's the weather there tonight?
It says 67. I don't know if that's right now, though.
Jacksonville weather tonight?
Factoring in the weather.
Mm-hmm, you have to.
Well, you should have done it before you placed your bet.
I was looking at it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
He did have it up. He said 67
Yeah.
right away. Mike, what do you think?
70 and cloudy.
So no real chance of rain, though, tonight?
Nah.
Yeah, what about the clouds, though? Clouds going to get in the way of anything?
Will be night.
Maybe the stadium lights bouncing off the clouds?
Okay, I've written my score down. You written yours down? Kevin, you got to write it down. The winning team will have this many points. Doesn't matter who wins, but the winning team, whoever
Paper.
gets the closest to the winning team having this many points.
Okay.
Let me know what you get written down.
Both teams, right?
No,
Both-
just one.
Just one. Oh,
Whomever wins, it doesn't even matter.
gotcha.
Whomever wins. Let's say Cincinnati wins and they win 32-12. Well, 32 is the number. If Jacksonville wins, they win 9-2. 9's the number.
Gotcha.
This is the chance for the $200 pot. Over $200 plus.
Let me know when you get your number down there, buddy.
Okay.
You in?
Big money.
Yep.
Okay, mine's in too. What's your winning score?
Jacksonville.
No, there's no team.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Just a
30.
score. Okay, I have 26.
Okay.
Ooh. Nobody wanted to do the Price is Right rule?
I'll show it to you. No Price is Right rule, but if I get anywhere, if the winning team has anywhere 1 through
25.
20
26.
27, 28 will be a tie.
Dude.
And if it happens to be on 28, we'll flip a coin.
Okay.
So you wanted to be the lower number?
$1.
Man,
So
that's
you want
crazy.
the over you definitely
Yeah.
want them to score a bunch of points.
Yeah. Either way, I need them to score points.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you need them to score over 28.
Because I was going to say 28, and then I was like, I need more points. So
Yeah. Okay. Good luck. We both don't deserve it. We both sucked at the 5 bets. Sucked at the 5 bets.
stupid Titans.
So out of all the bets we picked, me and Reed only got 3 right.
But you only picked 5. That's 3 out of 5. That's
Oh,
winning.
that's pretty good.
That's winning,
Okay.
yeah.
I felt like I picked more than that, but yeah.
No, because that thing took 2 hours to do.
it did.
Okay, we're done. Mike, anything I need to do?
We are good.
Okay. Well, let's go Trevor Lawrence. Because the points don't even matter if Trevor Lawrence freaking rolls.
Correct.
You know, let's get over 240.
Gets hurt in the
And
first
over-
quarter.
Oh, that would suck. Shut up, dude. You suck. I made the next round. I'm over here just chilling. Shut your face.
It's very nice. Very nice over here.
Yeah, this is good.
What are you thinking?
Nothing. I'm just thinking Jacksonville's going to score points tonight.
Do you think my Patrino Yes shirt would be good if I made it and sold it?
Yes. Yes. 100%.
But how would you write it? Because I did Patrino ? But then I did Patrine and then I bolded no and Patrino. And then I did Patrine yes and bolded it, or I just did Patrino no bold and Patrine yes. No. What do you think?
If you color it, like one red, one green.
Yeah.
Like
The
a no and red.
no would be red.
The yes and green.
Yeah.
No, but we're not a yes. We're not a green school.
No, but that's the yes.
Could just do
Green.
Bertrine no bold with a slash through it, and then yes in color below it.
You need mock-ups?
Yeah.
Reed, get him some mock-ups.
We maybe a couple examples.
Yeah.
Reed. Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you. What do you think, Kevin? You look like you're in a daze.
He's
What are you
worried,
thinking
man.
about?
He's worried.
I don't want to lose, man.
He's worried because he's been the one collecting all the
I
money.
know. I put a lot of effort into this and my own money in here. So.
Well, all of our own money's in there.
Yeah.
I know, but I think Reed and I have the most in here for sure.
Well, and Reed's all like, yeah, you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
I got a 30-cent casino voucher in there, man.
All right, we will.
You do?
We'll see you
Yes.
guys later on in the week. Bye, everybody.